embrace your cringe. I mean, the only way that I'm on live streams, I'm on Twitch, I'm on TikTok, I build my following because I utilize my cringy personality at parts of it. You've already done the hard part. You opened up a business. Now you're going to stop yourself from marketing what you already took the biggest jump on, like in your career possible. This is where you stop. No, push yourself, get uncomfortable with seeing yourself out there.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Sean Walchip. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We believe that every business needs to build digitally first, especially brick and mortar businesses like restaurants. We also believe that every business is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. I started the show back in 2017, many moons ago when no one was listening. I just had a crazy idea that as a restaurant owner, entrepreneur, small business owner, that I wasn't alone. And I thought that if I made videos and if I started a podcast and I started asking people to tell me their story, maybe we could all learn. And now fast forward to 2026, we have a media company built on top of our restaurant, and we talk to restaurant owners all over the globe. We're going to be going this summer to London. We're hopefully going to Dublin, going to Bulgaria, possibly Greece, talking to restaurant owners about storytelling, about hospitality, about the business that we all love. And today we have an amazing story. We have Ben, Tyler, and Mallory Morgan from 1925 Pubhouse in Anderson, Indiana. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Sean. It's great to be here.
Give me 60 seconds. I need each of you to tell me who are you and what's your role at 1925 Pubhouse.
Okay, I'll start. Well, I'm Ben Morgan, and my role is I'm an owner, kind of founder of the 1925 Pubhouse. Tyler lost his job 5 years ago in 2020 due to COVID, unfortunately. He was working for my brokerage company that I just retired from 31 years in the business. I was in operations in the mid 80s through the early 90s, got into the broker world, doing food sales, calling on region chains and a bunch of stuff. And when Tyler got let go, we decided he had operations background and he wasn't going to get a sales job at the time. So it was, let's see what happens. Maybe a food service opportunity presents itself, maybe a restaurant. And that's what exactly happened. Unfortunately, COVID brought an opportunity to us where somebody had to get out. We decided it was the best time to give something a shot, right? So like you, Sean, we're our first restaurant's kind of in the middle of a neighborhood type scene, right? With your Cali barbecue. Yeah. I started following you in 2020. I was watching your videos, trying to learn tech, seeing you unbox toast, right? Seeing you, I love a lot of people on there. And I felt, connected to you because we were in the middle of nowhere. We were destination dining, right? So we had to do things great operationally, but also we had to get, all the online ordering tools and everything to survive initially during COVID. So that's the 1 minute version for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Like I said, and when you're a content creator, when you share your story online, you get numbers, maybe 70 people watch the video, 100 people, there's actual humans there, and that's why we do it. And the amount of people that I've met, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, please reach out. Your story matters. I'm so grateful, Ben, that you guys are on the show. I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to support you. I can't wait to come and visit. I don't know when our toast stories will take us to Anderson, Indiana, but I don't put it past this crazy, amazing world that we live in. Ben, tell us, Tyler. Actually, you're up. You go.
Excellent. Yeah. So Tyler Morgan, Ben's son, Ben's oldest. We opened up our location in Anderson 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago. And then our Muncie location 2 years after that. I've been the operations guy really since day one. I brought on all of our teams, how we really got into our first location. My dad and I, we have a chef friend. His name's Kevin Collins, and his wife, Christine. They've been in the restaurant business for a long time. She was our bar manager. He's our head chef. and then the rest we kind of put into place. So getting our teams ready, getting everything open, that's kind of been my game, and then maintaining and operating these restaurants. So definitely always learning. There's always opportunities to get better. My eyes are being opened kind of to the content world right now. Trying to step in your side, but also just getting our way to operational excellence is really the main thing I'm trying to do right now. And nobody's ever going to be perfect, but we can dang sure try to get there.
I love it. Mallory, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. I'm Mallory Morgan. I am the youngest of Ben's children. I am the personality of the family, along with I am an industry rep for the last 10 years in Indianapolis, Indiana. Done every role in the restaurant besides cooking because they don't want me back there because then no one would want to eat. But no, I'm very big into social media content. I've always been a huge fan of, my dad used to record me on the Mallory Morgan talk show when I was like 7 years old. So it's always been in my bloodline. And then when my family brought up the opportunity for me to help out with their social media, given the fact that I have a little bit of success on my own personal account, it's taught me ways to be able to utilize the videos and what is good for what viewers want to see and how they want to relate. And even if they don't even work in restaurants, it's still fun to see the behind the scenes. So they brought me on, and I'm excited to be taking over their social media.
I love it. I watched your TikTok videos before this episode. I hope that you guys continue to do more. The one thing that I've learned doing this as long as we have is that quality is the enemy. We think that the internet wants perfect videos and, all this kinds of stuff. We think that they want a commercial, but no one wants a commercial. They want a show. And
yes.
What you guys are doing, we're going to put links into the show notes so you guys can give 1925 Pubhouse a follow on TikTok. I know you guys are doing more on Instagram. Hopefully, you're also going to add YouTube. YouTube is very important for search engine optimization, especially AI search. So Gemini and ChatGPT, when they're looking for places, geotagging and using YouTube Shorts is a very powerful tool. Let's talk a little bit just about storytelling in general. Mallory, I'll start with you. It's hard for family businesses to open up. It's hard to share the ups, the downs of what it's like. That's why I tend to see a day in the life of restaurant owners be so successful, because your community wants to support you. They already support you. Otherwise you wouldn't be in business. You'd be closed. If you didn't have customers coming in every single day, you'd be closed. But what we've learned telling our story and using the internet and all the free tools that are available is that the better that you get at telling your story, the more that people will connect. Can you talk a little bit about posting those first couple videos and putting your servers on camera and letting them be them and just share that story?
Definitely. I know that anytime you are putting a camera in someone's face that's definitely not used to it, it's always awkward. It's always clunky in the beginning, and that's okay. I think the main purpose that I kept trying to express to the 1925 Pubhouse team is that I want you to be yourselves. Do not feel like you have to be awkward. Do not feel like you have to be following a script. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to see you in the thick of it, how you are handling a difficult table or a situation where maybe right now you are trying to constantly keep up with your side work while also trying to make sure your tables don't see that you're drowning in the back. And I think that being able to capture those moments also is a really important part to show people who are not familiar with the industry of how much work really does go into each role of the restaurant. I think a huge part of storytelling is you hear someone works at a restaurant, it's like, oh, okay. But when you get to see the behind the scenes, how much work and how much grit really goes into just a successful shift, let alone keeping a restaurant open and successful as a whole, that's really what I'm focused on. And I think that a lot of the time, other than a guest experience is always top priority, but majority of the time people want to go to a place where they feel like that they know the team that's working there. They notice when there's turnover. They notice things like that. So when they can connect with their servers, with the bartenders, with even expo food runners, they're going to want to come in even more just to be like, oh my gosh, I loved seeing you in that video and I love the hard work that you put in. And thank you for showing up to work and taking care of me today. That's really, I think, the most important part of the storytelling.
One of the things that I love is I saw Tyler, your welcome to TikTok video, and you mentioned that you had been doing radio advertisements. And as somebody that we opened up our restaurant in 2008, and I have made every mistake in marketing possible. I've spent every dollar on every dumb thing you can do, every smart thing you can do, from radio ads to yellow pages. I'm that old that I actually had a yellow page book. Our restaurant was California Comfort Restaurant and Sports Bar because I wanted people to know that we also had a sports bar. And I thought that would help us with, like, I've done all of the dumb stuff. I've also, tried to get on radio, tried to get on TV, tried to get in magazines, tried to do all of those things. And yet here we are podcasting and, doing YouTube content and TikTok content and LinkedIn content every single day. But I want to hear from your voice, your own experience. Tell me about radio ads, and then tell me about your intro to TikTok video.
Sure. So, my sister laid it out really nice, and everything she just sort of like packaged up on a bow tie is precisely why we asked her to come on board, because from him and I's perspective, we're looking at the P&Ls, we're looking at our labor budgets, we're looking at that, the side of what do the guests want to see when they see us on social media is past us, but we're learning, we're getting better. And that's why we brought Mal on. But anyway, we've been advertising in the oldest school way possible. I mean, those little flyers that come out to you, the mailers, we're a part of those. Not that it's bad. We've got an older demographic in our Anderson location that definitely, like, we get a benefit from being on those for sure. But that's been a day one thing we're advertising on. Radio, we're involved with the local sports radio. We're huge sports fans. Our restaurant in Muncie has 26 big screen TVs. And we've got all the big games going on all the
TV. Is there a big game? Are we recording on a big game today? Is there?
It's big game day.
Is it the biggest game ever?
And being from Indiana, we've got we're in kind of a little bit of like Purdue country, but there's so many IU fans out there across the world that it doesn't even matter. Everybody wants to watch this game tonight. So we're recording on a big day. Hopefully IU can get it done. We're all rooting for them.
The odds are with you.
They're looking pretty tasty.
The way you've been performing,
looking good.
So we do sports talk radio. We actually have we do a live show during the summer from April to August. We've got the local radio guy who's one of our personal friends now at this point, comes out and actually brings coaches on. So Muncie, Indiana is a college town, Ball State University. So we'll bring in the different coaches from each team. Each different week, we've got an athlete on or a coach on, and we've been advertising the very old school way. And then, of course, we were on Facebook, but a lot of our content for the past few years has been, pictures of our food with a caption, and then more recently, AI generated content with a caption, and it's like, okay, sure, are people seeing that we've got a burger and that you can come sit on the patio? Of course, but is it like true wholesome content like what Mal has instituted within literally just the last 10 days, and she's got the ball rolling for us. But we've already seen such a dramatic growth of just our view count when we put our people on there, when we do this real life human interaction and not just AI generated posts or a picture of a food with a caption. So I'm learning, he's learning big time. Mal's got, she knows what she's doing for the most part, but we're always learning, but she's got a lot bigger step up on us on that. So it just made so much sense for, Mal to hop in and be our go-to on there.
I think one of the most important things that I've learned, not just doing it at our restaurant at Cali Barbecue, but interviewing some of the biggest creators, YouTubers, TikTokers, podcasters, and successful restaurateurs. I mean, I just had I had Julia Tinajero. So Basilico Italiano. You can follow them on TikTok, Basilico Italiano. She was just on the show. She's in Concord, North Carolina, but she does recipe development. So she took over from her family business and she started doing recipe development, like showing behind the scenes of making a chicken Caesar wrap. So she was making a chicken Caesar wrap and getting feedback on TikTok and on Instagram. Cut the croutons more, like use a different lettuce, use all these things. And as she's building this, some big foodie influencer gets tagged in one of her videos. That person comes to the restaurant and has the chicken Caesar wrap in Charlotte. So, the neighboring city, which is a much bigger city. That person has such a big following that this chicken Caesar wrap has become viral. They're selling 75 chicken Caesar wraps every single day. Tuesday lunch, Wednesday lunch, Thursday lunch, Friday lunch. They can't keep up with the chicken Caesar wraps because she was willing to do recipe development. Like the things that we take for granted as restaurateurs, we forget that somebody else maybe has a dream of opening up a restaurant. Maybe people don't get access. And now with what we call smartphone storytelling, you get to give people access. You guys have an extensive menu. You have beautiful scratch items, craft cocktails on the menu. It's like, how do we just get a phone? And, Mallory can't be there all the time. So it's like, how do you empower other people on the team to literally just put up a phone and get some raw content while you guys are doing menu development? I would love to hear about your technology story, Ben. Bring me into the tech stack that is 1925 Pubhouse.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my wife, Dory. She's the one. She's working right now, so we can do this podcast, right?
Amazing.
So
thank you, Dory.
I had to throw her out there. I'll get in trouble for sure. But listen, we started with Toast right from the get go. We knew we needed something to be able to not only just a great POS system, but doing research and watching you and others. We knew that we had to get online ordering involved. We know we had to use Toast marketing. We know we had to do the loyalty program. We started with those were crucial for us in the get-go, especially obviously the online ordering piece. And then we jumped in since using numerous other tools like Toast Tables. The AI tool is amazing. It really is. It is a time saver. If you're on Toast and you're not using that, just take an hour to learn it and just start asking questions. You'll be amazed at what you can do. Our teams now on the fly can sit there and ask what their hourly labor total is, on a Friday. They can just ask it and it'll come up. Or our chef can say, what's my back of house labor? Before you had to stop, right? You had to go on computers and do all that. And they're not going to do that. But now on the fly, they can. And it's just incredible with that. Then you want our whole tech stack as well. We got other stuff we're using we use Spot Hopper. It builds out our website, does a lot of great things. We do use it as social media and pushing out stuff. The AI tool. Yeah, it pushed out a patio scene last week, and it's like 10 degrees out. And we didn't catch it. And
that's fantastic.
All these people are commenting, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna go out? It's 10 degrees. Hey, at least I knew people were actually, they're commenting. I knew they were watching the thing. So I felt good about it. I did take it down, but I should have caught it in the first place. But that they do a great job. We get tons of reservation requests or party requests, catering requests off of them. It pays for itself in our minds. We are amazed at the number of requests in large groups that we now get because of Spot Hopper. Ovation, which I saw Zach Oates on your show years ago. Zach is incredible. Love that guy, and we used Ovation pretty much a few months after we opened. We needed to know how was our to-go orders resonating, right? How was our online orders doing out there, or just the general experience overall, right? And we all know the advantages of Ovation to help. If we weren't doing something right, we can control it. We can get with that guest and help make it right if they didn't have the best experience, and it saves us big time. It helps our scores go up. We average like a 4.6 Google, and we wouldn't have that if we didn't have Ovation, right? And so we use that as well. Yep. Kickfin we use. We use Margin Edge is huge for us as well, obviously, with everything that we need to do with our inventory purposes and such. What am I missing?
We're doing Sling now. We're getting that integrated in with, obviously they're with Toast. So Sling, we've already got our Muncie store on it. We're going to get Anderson locked in by the end of this month on Sling. We were using 7 Shifts. 7 Shifts was great, but we like just having that everything integrated in one package. You already touched on Margin Edge. We use that for everything. That's kind of like our Bible. We're currently getting all of our recipe costing cards like more refined. We had them in there. few things we found issues with, that kind of thing, but very useful on that end. Oh, gosh. And then there's just so many different extensions of Toast. Like we went through some of the features of Toast that we're using, but just the integration piece with our third party deliveries just coming directly back to our KDS screens. It's a life changer, a game changer, all of it. Saves so much time and headache. But yeah, those are the big things. And I'm sure we're using even more. I mean, we're using mood radio in the restaurant for our licensed audio, for our licensed music. The tech really goes on for us, for sure.
Yeah. And then we knew one thing though. We knew that we were growing sales. We were actually up double digits last year at our Muncie location. Anderson, not so much. We were feeling kind of what everybody else felt there, where everybody's saying down 10 is the new up. We were actually up 10% at that location, but we weren't making more money. We didn't see it from a profit standpoint, right? With all the stuff coming in, we actually attended the David Scott Peters training. And I know he's been on your show in the past. Yeah, good dude, and he knows his stuff. Yeah, we went to a seminar in Vegas in December, and within a half day, we knew we had to be a part of this program, and we knew it would help us, and that's really what's going to help Tyler. Listen, I want to step away. My wife wants to step away. We did this initially to give Tyler an opportunity and our employees. Now Tyler's going to run with it. And with David Scott Peters, man, I tell you, we sat there and looked at the people that are in his group now. And we're looking at it like, man, we don't know what we're doing. We're making money and doing all this stuff. But we realized, man, we could get so much better. And I knew I need to give Tyler all the tools necessary to just be a successful entrepreneur, restaurant owner. And I knew that was part of it. Matt Plapp was at that, but he was a guest, and he's been on your show as well in the past. And he was talking about storytelling. And, I'm like, man, Sean's always talking about storytelling. They're hitting me over the head. Why not? Let's do this. With all the coaching and everything that we're going to do, why wait to do the storytelling? Let's make it a story within the story. Let's talk about the Pubhouse, but let's follow Tyler's journey in turning this into his business, right? Where we get to hopefully step away, fingers crossed, and Tyler's running and gunning with it with the help of his sister. That's our goal for this operation.
So my grandfather, he taught me to stay curious, to get involved, and to ask for help. I share that on as many stages as possible and as many podcasts as possible. Curious people listen to podcasts. Curious people read books. Curious people go to seminars. But then you actually have to get involved. You have to be somebody that's at that David Scott Peters seminar and that actually does something with the information. And then you also have to be willing to ask for help, which is, one of the hardest things to do, especially for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and restaurateurs, because we live by the mantra of we'll figure it out. And we don't realize that there's other restaurants who have had the same problem and maybe they've solved it and maybe they're willing to share. Tyler, can you give us just a little insight into that Vegas experience at David Scott Peters?
Yeah. So like he said, within the first literally few hours of us being in that conference room, just listening to DSP, listening to his energy, we're like, this is something that's going to help us tremendously. And another thing that kind of Matt Platt mentioned too was, he said 90% of the businesses around you suck at their marketing. Their marketing sucks. And I realized we were that 90% big time. We got to do something. So that little, you get so many factoids thrown at you at those conferences. Mm-hmm. You know how it goes. In 2 days, you're getting more information than you can possibly process. But I pulled that specifically of if we can do this even 20% better, we're doing 80% better than our competition and our restaurants that are around us downtown. So I truly believe that. But overall, with DSP, I've been working specifically with a coach the last couple of weeks. One of his guys, D Mill, he's opened my eyes up to the forecasting, the budgets, and that kind of thing. We were kind of flying a little bit blind, the old hope and pray method. in a lot of facets of our business, and being prepared for upcoming holidays when we're going to do our specific promotions for our holiday menus, LTOs, that kind of stuff. We were, didn't really have a plan, weren't forecasting or budgeting it out. And now that's something that my eyes have been open to. And really, that's how a successful business has to operate. So, I mean, we're still getting there. Believe me, it's a process, and all this information is about 50 days old to me. So it's a 6 month to a year until we can really be a well-oiled machine, but we're on a good path right now. And it's been awesome hearing DSP's stories, not just his stories though, bringing in all the people we get on a weekly call with his team members and people who are members of the program, hearing everybody else's got the same BS that we deal with too, whether it's personnel or, just events that pop up. We get to hear it from others too. And being a part of that community has been really nice so far. So we're running with that.
You know what? I know a guy that says this all the time. Hospitality is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. Mm-hmm. That's you, baby, right there. And, rising tides lift all ships. I mean, it's great to be a part of that community now. We're not on our own. We're hearing challenges, what the others are dealing with or what they've already experienced. The good news is with the tech stack that we have already in place, it's not like we have to learn a new tech tool in order to go further with this program. So we're ahead of the game in a lot of aspects, which is cool, right? So now we can just, all right, we need to hone in. And I'm from a corporate world where it's about budgets and forecasts and making sure our clients, our food service clients all, we're up to date and knew if we knew we were to target with them. Now, there's another voice telling Tyler that same thing. It's not just dad saying that, right? So that's a good thing, too, where he hears that voice. Because a lot of times it's the old tune out. Yeah, I hear you after everything else we talk about. Now he's got the coach voice and DSP's voice in his ear as well. So I've already seen great progress with that.
And I was saying we're babies and we're infants on social media. Like that kind of content. But as far as the tech stack goes, we've actually been we've been ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff. I mean, one of the first operators in Indiana to have Kickfin and send our tips out, instantaneously to a personal checking account. We've had Ovation. We were one of the first people in the state of Indiana to be operating on that. So our tech stack is solid. It's just utilizing all of the capabilities of that tech is what we're honing in now.
Every business is a family business. Mallory, can you talk to anyone that's listening to this podcast and give them hope? We have a lot of restaurateurs, operation focused. I understand business focused, but storytelling and bringing in social media. Can you give a piece of advice to anybody that's listening to this about the asking for help, about bringing somebody in? Like, you don't have to do it yourself. The chances are there's someone in your family, there's someone in your staff that understands social media, that understands how to make a TikTok video, that understands how to get it posted, that you can ask for help, and somebody's probably willing to do it. And working with a business is actually really helpful for someone that aspires to be a creator or aspires to be an influencer. Can you share on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the best parts about the restaurant industry versus like corporate America, when you're in a corporate America office, for the most part, everyone has the same goals, same career, same idea. The best part about restaurants is you are getting all different types of people, all different personalities with all different types of skills, talents. And it's just about knowing your staff, connecting with your staff. And if you see a hole in your system, such as social media, why not? Why not take a chance and just ask someone? And fair enough that it can be a little nerve-wracking to be asking a team member, asking someone on your staff to take the chance of recording videos. But if you trust your team to work for your company and represent you, why not trust that same team member to take the chance to put them on the map with a different social media opportunity? And a huge thing that I would really encourage everyone is embrace your cringe. I mean, the only way that I'm on live streams, I'm on Twitch, I'm on TikTok, I build my following because I utilize my cringy personality parts of it to know that people will resonate with it. And so instead of being in your head and being scared of how will I come across, you've already done the hard part. You opened up a business. Now you're going to stop yourself yourself from marketing, what you already took the biggest jump on, like in your career possible, this is where you stop? No. Push yourself, get uncomfortable with seeing yourself out there. You think he wants to see himself on camera? No. But this is the beauty of the family, so we got to show him off. But it's just about, and him leading by example, very important. If you're going to incorporate having social media being a part of your new business structure, have your general manager, have your owner be on camera, let that team see that to show that if he can do it, I can do it too, and I don't need to be weird about it. So get comfortable with the uncomfortable and take the jump.
Amazing. If you guys are watching this, if you're listening, thank you. Please share this with a restaurant owner, friend, a business owner, someone that cares about technology, someone that cares about storytelling. We also do a live show. So every Wednesday, every Friday, we stream on LinkedIn. We stream on YouTube. It's Cali Barbecue Media. It's called Rising Tides Live. I would love for you all to come and join us. Every Wednesday, we have a new topic. You guys are welcome to host, but you more importantly get to meet community members, restaurateurs all over the globe, people that believe in technology, people that believe in storytelling. Every Wednesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. London time. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. We're going to put links to 1925 Pubhouse into the show notes. We are so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful that you guys have been listening to the shows. Ben, it means the world to me. I can't tell you. I thought I was alone. I honestly did. And once I realized technology can bring us all together, and I can do those things that my grandfather wanted me to do, which was stay curious, get involved, ask for help. I can't wait to visit you guys. Honestly, I don't know when it's going to happen, but if you make it to San Diego for whatever crazy reason, please come enjoy some barbecue. Anyone that's watching this, listening to this, send me a message. Instagram's the fastest at Sean P. Walchef. I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue to tell these kinds of stories. You guys are awesome. I seriously, I'm
hey, listen,
on the show.
The one thing I would like to add is I've reached out to you probably, 10, 12, 13 times in the last, and you always answer. You always answer. I have your text, I have your mobile, and you've always responded no matter what. So Sean,
weirdly available. Weirdly available.
you always do, brother. So thank you, and congratulations on all your success, man.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. As always, guys, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also, go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali Barbecue Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime at Sean P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.